Yay.
So I have a question that a listener wrote in that's a question for both of you, kind of relating to that. So do you think that it does have to be like black and white, you cut out all substances, or do you think that people can eventually find a balance with other substance in the future?
So I think that's like a really individualized question. I think there's like, I mean, for me, and understanding the way I use substances, that like I just need to soothe something that I feel is like wrong with me. Like, because that's why I'm using, like, I feel like I'm not good enough, or there's something inside me that like feels uncomfortable. So like that's typically why I'm using. And like with that knowledge and like understanding of like, this is why I'm using whatever substance I pick up, no matter what, no matter how long it is. I mean, it's going to lead right back to the pattern of use that I was using. It's like, I mean, there could be people that just like drink in excess for a little bit, take some time off, and then like pick it back up. But like, who am I to say like that their drinking is alcoholic? Mm-hmm. I can only speak for myself.
Yeah. And I liked how you answered that.
Yeah, awesome. What do you think, Chase?
I can't.
Yeah.
I know I can't because I've tried.
Yeah.
And I would say in my experience, you know, people are using substances for something. So even if you can use in like not excess, you know, why are you going back to something? You know, so let's say somebody was like using drugs and alcohol, they go to treatment, and now, you know, they're just smoking weed, but it's constantly, but they're not really seeing, you know, consequences. And so, you know, they just do that for a long period of time. And it's like you were using the drugs and alcohol to soothe something. Like, obviously, you know, people don't just use drugs and alcohol. And I think it's really hard once you admit you have a problem to ever like take that back, right? So like you go to get help, and then it's like, you know, everybody knows and you've sought help, and now it's like you can't just say, actually, I don't have a problem. And for me, it's like really uncomfortable too, because once I said like I had a problem, then it was like there was guilt every time I thought about it. Or when I like relapsed and was using drugs and alcohol, like there was a lot of guilt that I had never felt before.
Wow.
Because I never like tried to stop. Mm-hmm. But once I like made that common knowledge, and it's like anytime I used again, it was just like very uncomfortable.
How many times did you relapse?
So I started smoking weed right when I got out of outpatient, and then I started I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And then I started drinking again at a wedding, and it was like 2 weeks after that I was back to drugs so fast.
So it got you there quickly.
Yeah.
You started using, or like using any sort of thing that you were addicted to.
Yeah, and I knew that. You know, I knew that, but I still convinced myself like, okay, I can smoke weed. And then it was like, drinking's okay. Like eventually I got to the point where drinking was like gonna be okay, and it wasn't, you know. And that lasted probably about 2 months, and then I was sober again. And I was I've not used drugs and alcohol for a really long time, but I was on some prescriptions, you know, some anti-anxiety, antidepressants. And, you know, for like the first year and a half, really like the first 2 years of my sobriety, like I was using those in excess, you know, like I was taking multiple. And, you know, when I say like in excess, I mean like I'm prescribed 2 and I take a handful of 30.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's because I'm still so uncomfortable. And like this whole time I'm not out of the closet still, right? Like I am free of the drugs and alcohol, you know, now. And, you know, I'm still not out. I'm still not comfortable with myself. I'm still not being honest to anybody.
You're
still
stuck with you.
Yeah.
Which is like the hardest part.
Which is what you were feeling.
It's like you're
It's the hardest part.
It's like you're stuck in your own skin.
Yes.